When I had goals of my first 6-figure month or my first $1 million, I did it, you get that dopamine hit, and it fades away. So that goalpost is going to keep moving. Although that's good, and you can be a high performer, you have to learn to enjoy the process, celebrate your wins, because life is going to flash by regardless. That XRP explodes before the end of this bullish cycle. What is going on, guys? Kevin Cage here with another XRP update. We're going to be diving into this video, tons of information. I'll show you a few things about a variety of altcoins as well. And just like since the beginning of this year, my bias remains the same. I believe that we do in fact get that alt season 2.0 after Bitcoin is done exploding. Right here, the BIS, the Bank for International Settlements. For anybody new, this is the central bank of all of these central banks around the globe. And they have DC FinTech Week of 2021. And look at these speakers. We have Augustin Carstens, General Manager for the BIS. We have Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. Caitlin Long, Founder and CEO of Avanti Financial Group. We have the Governor from the Bank of Israel, the President of PayPal, the CEO of Visa. We have the Financial Department from the US Department of the Treasury. We have Christopher Giancarlo, who is the co-founder of the Digital Dollar Foundation. Why is this big? Because he was formerly the CFTC chairman, rather than the SEC chair that is right there, Gary Gensler. We have Chris Giancarlo, who's actually an advisor for the company Ripple, and his law firm also represents Ripple, and they have heavy ties into Accenture. Accenture is an early investor in the company Ripple as well. We also have Joe Lubin, founder and CEO of Consensus, a massive Ethereum holder just like JP Morgan. We have the People's Bank of China, the International Monetary Fund, of course. We have Circle, CoinShares, Andreessen Horowitz, of course. Some very, very big names here. Next, I wanted to highlight this, the World Economic Forum's paper. Now, this is relatively old. This is a survey report, but I want to show you how far we've come. This is referring to the GDP projections of the cryptocurrency market. Remember, the World Economic Forum, the 1% of the 1%, has a few assets listed on their website, two of which are XLM and XRP. GDP. Look at these projections. Bitcoin and the blockchain, the tipping point, 10% of global gross domestic product will be stored on blockchain tech. Expected date, 2027. By 2025, 58% of respondents expected this tipping point to have occurred. And how much money is the total global gross domestic product? Approximately $80 trillion. So 10% of that is $8 trillion. Today's crypto global market cap is at $2.5 trillion. And if you guys caught my previous video, I don't think that these projections are outlandish at all, considering that just a year or two ago, we were at 100 billion. And since that point, we have done a 20x, well, really a 20x plus to 2.5 trillion. Also retweeted it for anybody curious. Now remember, XRP, specifically with RippleX, focused on the XRP-L, XRP Ledger integrations. Remember, they announced their investment into Mintable, an NFT marketplace. Mintable is unlocking mass consumer adoption of crypto and allowing potentially billions of NFTs to be minted. In 2020 alone, the pandemic year, of course, gaming saw consumers spend a collective $54 billion on virtual goods to own, trade, and sell. And this is only the beginning, and I agree. What else is interesting besides those huge stats is right here that 10% of the world's GDP, so $8 trillion, will be tokenized by 2027. 6 years from now, $8 trillion coming to the blockchain. And remember, Ripple also launched a $250 million creator fund. Can't make this up. So we have $250 million right there. Next up, we have Coindesk and one of my favorite assets, HBAR. And I am paying attention to this sucker sitting at what, 35, 36 cents, has yet to be on Coinbase. And remember, guys, I'm bullish on a lot of assets, but HBAR, although it's performed beautifully since the 1 cent days, as we scroll down, remember, market cap matters. Even Algo is ranked 20. Where's HBAR? HBAR is still ranked 36 per market capitalization, so almost at 37 cents today. The market cap is at 5 billion. You can see the tokens in circulation, you can see the 24-hour volume, and let's just look at HBAR and say if it had the market cap of, let's say, Stellar. We're going to go to my favorite website. This is marketcapof.com, as you can see right there. I love this tool, so check this out. We're going to type in HBAR. And we're going to type in XLM for Stellar. So if HBAR had the market capitalization of Stellar, the price would be 60 cents. So almost a 2x from there. That is beautiful. Of course, this is pure speculation looking at this, but we do expect a Coinbase listing in the near future. Please keep in mind, Coinbase, Kraken, a lot of the behemoths are actually backed by Digital Currency Group, so Digital Currency Group can kind of control that and definitely has some influence over these exchanges. And remember, Digital Currency Group is an investor into HEDERA, HBAR, along with the company Ripple. So anyway, Circle, this company that I believe will go public, and their US dollar coin USDC stablecoin has been added to HEDERA as a key part of a $2.5 billion HBAR initiative. There is big money in this ecosystem, specifically because this can scale almost infinitely because it is a DAG type of technology, and it's essentially feeless. We are talking micro pennies per transaction rather than an Ethereum gas fee. HEDERA, obviously, I know some people say a top 5 network. I think conservatively, HBAR should be a top 10 project in the years ahead. Next up, guys, if you get a chance to see this, I highly recommend it. This is Mark Cuban debating some Bitcoiners. I thought it was a really well done interview on both sides. I kept an open mind, was able to see both sides of maybe Bitcoin maximalists, maybe some people that have a healthy balance, and then also Mark Cuban is extremely well versed in crypto assets. Surprise, surprise. Very smart guy. So I encourage you guys to check this out if you can. And remember, Mark Cuban on Shark Tank. Well, Kevin O'Leary is also a big HBAR advocate. Remember, an investor in Immutable Holdings. So we have 2 sharks that are well versed into the crypto game. And Kevin O'Leary is watching HBAR. And of course, they're watching a bunch of other NFT platforms, but just wanted to share. One of my best friends in this entire space, guys, I encourage you to subscribe to his channel. Interesting that Standard Chartered, remember they're an early investor in the company Ripple, specifically calls out certain assets, well-known and widely used. We have HBAR and XRP. This guy's one of the best researchers. We can see this US patent. You can read the abstract. You can see Standard Chartered Bank Singapore Limited. We have HEDERA HBAR. And XRP by Ripple, and a few other assets, Stellar Lumens, EOS, Ethereum Classic, Tether, smart contracts, but just wanted to share. Widely used held digital assets such as this list. And this is also something I want to emphasize, guys. Yes, I'm rooting for Bitcoin. I couldn't care less about it for an investment right now, so I'm focused on altcoins as always. I love Bitcoin, but I'm just not a believer in the Lightning Network as an L2, a layer 2 solution so that it can scale faster. I think it's highly inefficient when there's technologies that exist like these assets below, whether they're layer 0s technically, whether they're layer 1s, or even layer 2s that can run on top of some of these L1s. And in my opinion, all of these assets are extremely efficient compared to Bitcoin. And then all of these assets to the left of Ethereum are even more efficient than Ethereum. But remember, the magic of Ethereum is network effects. They have a beautiful EVM, they have tons of developers, and that's something I won't ignore. And I'm not an idiot, of course. The Ethereum upgrade, the London upgrade, is extremely favorable to push the price up over time. I just believe that these networks are significantly more efficient, including HBAR, Casper, DAG of Constellation, DOT of Polkadot, Algorand, XRP, and XLM. And also, this was news from the other day. Just want to highlight this since we're talking about HBAR. We have Hex Trust, Asia's biggest digital asset custodian that holds digital assets, has emerged as the latest HEDERA HashGraph integration partnership. I think partnerships typically precede a very nice price move, especially when you're looking at the Q4 and early 2022 roadmap for HEDERA. Hint, hint. Also, guys, please be aware, I will never DM you asking you to join any platform, click any sketchy links. There are Kevin Cage impersonators on Twitter. Please understand that my only Twitter is this Twitter. All of my socials are linked in my YouTube video description. My Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, anything else is an impersonator. Please be safe, guys. Here's an example, so thank you for sharing this. We have Crypto, we have Gripto Kuru, I like the name, and this is an example of a scammer. Look at the handle, it is entirely different, Kevin Cage 11. Also had King Solomon highlighting again. Now remember, Temenos is the largest banking software in the world. They have Ripple integrations back in the day. Remember the Blue-Zell stack? This was a common talking point back in 2018. Well, now Temenos partners with Silicon Valley-based mBank to power innovative credit union as a service offering for U.S. credit unions. This Temenos banking cloud enables credit unions to gain faster time to market with cutting-edge digital financial services for members at a reduced total cost of ownership. Now, what King Solomon wanted to reference here is this RippleNet payment system. Right on, mBank is offering an interoperable payment solution that provides a gateway between the modern and legacy payment rails, such as Euronet, Instarem, and RippleNet. So just wanted to highlight some of the newer developments. Remember, Reinvest Banking, the world's #1 banking software. You can see direct Ripple integrations as well. And remember, 41 of the top 50 banks utilize Temenos. And plenty of partners. Credit Suisse, we have seen them mention XRP in a few documents. UBS, there's RippleNet. So, plenty of cool connections right there. Next up, we have Rath Economin money transfer company, FarRai is how I'm going to pronounce it, is confirmed as a Ripple user, long rumored, even implicated in NBE's deal with Ripple. This interview with the CEO suggests the Banking Act has aided its expansion and describes Ripple as the cryptocurrency-based Ripple network. Right here, this Fari or Fari, however you pronounce it, was at Swell 2020, which is Ripple's annual event, to speak and has agreements with Ripple Partners, National Bank of Egypt. And yep, that's right, Ripple is partners with the National Bank of Egypt. Please look and go back to their previous annual events called Swell and look at the participant list. This is why everybody in the XRP community seems so crazy. It's because we know that they are directly tied to some of the biggest instant payment networks and central banks in the world. I hold a variety of digital assets. I'm not a maximalist. I've held and always advocated holding a variety of assets, whether they're oracles, whether they're layer 1 solutions, whether they're for, IoT, anything in between. You guys know that, but XRP is one of my favorites and one of the assets I am most confident in. They also connect to Ripple partner dLocal. Now, this is just a behemoth. I feel like we talk about them all the time, but please keep an eye on dLocal. They're also one of the companies going public with a massive valuation connections to Brazil, which is one of the BRICS nations. And also remember, eBanks, ACI Worldwide, the whole instant payment network of Brazil, and even Brazil is going to be using them to actually process Uber payments. Crazy. And ACI Worldwide is a behemoth, integrated with Ripple for several years, has mentioned Ripple time and time again, and they send over $14 trillion per day. That's more than Swift. $14 trillion. Now, yes, some of that includes securities, and as we can see, GDP, 10% will be tokenized in the next 6 years. And we also hear the talks of all these securities and equities markets becoming tokenized. Very cool. Notice this, powerful people all over the globe. We have former UK Chancellor enters crypto's revolving door and joins a custody firm, Copper. Philip Hammond, who served as the UK Chancellor, will act as a senior advisor to the crypto custody firm, Copper. Based in the United Kingdom, and I'm sure this is turning heads. Remember, the FTX CEO is worth over $20 billion, $20 billion, rather than somebody like Jamie Dimon, who is the CEO of JP Morgan with $2 billion. We're talking a crypto guy, has a net worth that is 10 times that of Chase. This is going to be turning heads of multimillionaires and billionaires in the space, and they're all going to want to be advisors and will be involved in the cryptocurrency space. Also, guys, remember to always take profits, have a staggered plan. I personally use fibs, retracements, extensions to kind of stagger my profits out. I always try to recoup my initial investment. I play with house money. It really helps me from a mental health standpoint so that I can make the most money without being emotionally attached to it. You have to come up with your own solution. My answer for myself is not going to be your answer, will not be best for you. So remember to take profits, be happy that you're profitable in the first place and that we are this early in the cryptocurrency space. Long-term vision, your goalpost will keep moving anyways. I've smashed goals. When I had goals of my first 6-figure month or my first $1 million, I did it, you get that dopamine hit, and it fades away. So that goalpost is going to keep moving. Although that's good, and you can be a high performer, you have to learn to enjoy the process, celebrate your wins, because life is going to flash by regardless. So we have Adam Cochran right now, just kind of a few points. This is a giant 31 tweet thread, but I just wanted to read a few stats. Right now, there exists $56 trillion in debt getting paid, and each year the US government alone spends an additional $6 trillion while collecting $3.2 trillion in taxes. Overall, that means the US government alone does over $9 trillion in payment flows each and every year. In last video, we talked about the global stock market surpassing 100 trillion. Don't even get me started on global debt. And then right here, talking about crypto, talking about Ethereum, talking about improvements we need to make in the years ahead. But if a payment processor captured any of that market, there is trillions of dollars up for grabs. And it doesn't really matter who captures it, because a portion of their profits has to come back to securing the network they use. Also, XRP Darren just emphasizing this is a safety precaution for all of you. So notice, the US Treasury advises virtual currency exchanges to use geolocation tools to block access from countries under US sanctions. So if you're using some exchange in Singapore you should not be using, and they detect, and you're not using a VPN, and they detect you're in the US, they can block you or even lock your crypto up if you've been using that exchange and you shouldn't have been all along. So please be safe. I have good friends that have had their money locked on the OG Binance account back in the day. Even XRP Darren right here. If you are using exchanges that you should not be using, KYC, know your customer compliance, these ID checks will be coming soon. How does he know this? Because it's already happening. And he's spot on. So like how Binance demanded licenses out of the blue. If you have $1,000 on an exchange you shouldn't have it on, please be safe. I do not leave my money on exchanges, especially those that are not compliant. And I just want to emphasize, please be careful, especially if you're uncertain about them. I know people that have had large sums of money trapped. Please be safe, extra paranoid. be cynical in the space. I'd rather miss an opportunity and miss a pump of a crypto rather than lose all of my money on an exchange altogether. And I really like this NFT analogy by Critical Complex David. Check this out. Imagine a metaverse where you can log in on your PlayStation 5 virtual reality headset and create an avatar. And you can meet other people's avatars and then even trade crypto or non-fungible tokens directly with their avatars. Is this where we're headed? And I think we both agree, yes, absolutely. It's just a matter of time. And there's going to be digital marketplaces and economies in this ecosystem. For anybody that grew up playing The Sims, that video game, I think reality is going to be much stranger than fiction. Or that one movie, Ready Player One, which is really cool. Right here, yeah, Crypto Captain, Ready Player 2. Just wanted to highlight the total crypto market cap. Look at this old cup. We got the handle. What do you think happens next? Also, Tommy, thank you so much for the kind message from Germany. He shares when he bought his first XRP, just thanking the community. I thank all of you sincerely because this type of content motivates me. Just so you know, everybody in the space, I truly am grateful because all of your information helps me massively as I continue doing my own research as well. And I know all of us in the XRP community, you guys watching these videos that have been here for a while, we're like dictionaries when it comes to this crypto research because we live and breathe this. I've done well over my 10,000 hours. No days off. Also, by Decrypt, the New York Attorney General's office today announced additional investigations into unregistered crypto lending and borrowing platforms. Regulation is coming, and the good thing is, we were talking about this in 2018, 2017, but the market wasn't big enough. Now that the crypto market has surpassed a couple $1 trillion, it's so big that you can't ignore it, and that's the goal. So I know regulation is not fun, but we want clarity. And I think the majority will finally be able to win this. Also, Barry Silbert, this gentleman, pay attention, the CEO of Digital Currency Group, literally the epicenter of this entire crypto space. Remember, their subsidiaries include Grayscale, Genesis, Coindesk. So we have the media outlets, we have trading desks, we have investment firms, so to speak. And they're announcing some over-the-counter markets welcoming Grayscale, Stellar Lumens, awesome, a new trust. We have Horizon or Zen, their currency, and then Grayscale Zcash. Now, this is all OTC. Now, why do I continue to pay attention to Stellar and Zcash? They really haven't moved that much. They're at lower fibs, yawn. That's why I'm interested in them. Because I just saw Grayscale still owns about $40 million worth of Zcash. They own about, what, $20 to $30 million of Stellar. You can watch and monitor them buying, and then look at other hedge funds in the space. Also, we have Mac Attack sharing Ripple partner CGI teams up with the Bank of Montreal and National Bank of Canada. Canada has huge connections to XRP, discussing high-value payment systems years ago, mentioning Ripple and XRP side by side. Just wanted to share this, so thank you, Mac Attack. Also, Matthew Liony, the National Bank of France, gives the central bank digital currency a go. Hyperledger is an XRP integrated network. Remember, years ago we did videos on this that Ripple actually joined the Hyperledger Foundation back in the day. King Solomon, was it 2019? I think it was 2020. Time is just flying. He found the Central Bank of France, the Central Bank of France, mentioning Ethereum's blockchain and the XRP ledger as two networks that they could have CBDCs built on top of and be interoperable with. Let me repeat that. Not just be interoperable with, but actually have central bank digital currencies built on top of the XRP ledger. And then we fast forward to today, we have all these XRP ledger announcements and federated sidechains and privacy features. It really makes you wonder. Remember, Ripple was valued at $10 billion a few years ago, just like Coinbase was valued at $8 billion. And now we saw Coinbase launch as one of the highest valued IPOs in history. So I'm just using some common sense. Hopefully you love my emojis here. We'll finish up with this. So check this XRP price chart out. We have the credible crypto. If these two structures look similar, it's because they are almost mirror images. And this is something I always observe on the XRP price chart, plus a variety of assets. And sometimes I size up the weekly time frame of maybe XLM to a 30-minute time frame of XRP. And people have to understand why you do that. It's not to just make your narrative fit, it's to find replicating patterns in the space. So almost mirror images, except the current consolidation is a larger, longer consolidation structure. So let's check this out. So he goes on to say, number one, right here, this consolidation precedes expansion. Okay, consolidation, and then expansion. Boom. Number two, the greater the consolidation, the larger the expansion. So the longer that this consolidation period lasts, the higher up the expansion will be. You can see this W forming. We have another W. We have Bitcoin essentially at an all-time high price. When Bitcoin reached an all-time high price years ago at 20,000, really 19,000 the first time ever, XRP almost went to $4. Today, we have over 3 million wallets for XRP, more on-ramps than ever before. a higher amount of true liquidity, and XRP utility. What do you think happens to XRP? I obviously believe that XRP explodes before the end of this bullish cycle. Alright guys, that is enough out of me. Remember that you can get a free $10 of Bitcoin using the link below, creating an account on Gemini. You always have to be prepared to have a variety of accounts on a variety of exchanges, because I know if any exchanges do in fact go down during the bull run, like they have in the past, I have multiple backup plans and I'll still be able to buy, sell, and trade my crypto assets. Appreciate all that like and sub, and until next time.